Welcome to my new and improved React series. This is the first of a new format that I'm trying out with my React series, so please forgive me if it's a little bit all over the place. If you are new here, my React series is where I look at different J-fashion media, Lolita media, and react to it because I myself am a Lolita, and I also have a background in documentary filmmaking. When I'm reacting to documentaries or media made by big corporations or by YouTubers that are more so looking into the community and outside of the community, I'm going to continue making my React videos in the same manner, similar to how I did with my last one, which was looking at Cup of TJ's Lolita fashion experience. When I'm looking at content of Lolitas who are not currently established content creators, I am going to reach out to the people that are the subject of these documentaries and this media to make sure that they are comfortable with it being shared, with it being talked about, and also get a chance to see how they felt about it, because when someone else is filming you, directing you, editing you, it might not turn out the way you want it, or maybe it does, and I would love to hear more about those experiences rather than just sort of guess what's going on. The media that I'm going to be watching today is called Finding Freedom in Sweet Lolita Fashion. I have not watched this yet, but so many people have requested that I watch it, including the person who is in this documentary. Now, I've only read his name, so I've never heard it. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. We will find out when we watch it, but I have spoken to Alloy? Like, I'm imagining it's like that magazine from the early 2000s, Alloys? We'll see if I'm correct or not. I've spoken to him before recording this, and he is more than okay with me visiting this piece of media. He really wants to share his experiences with it and just more about his style. There is one thing that I need to update you before we watch this video, and that is that Alloys recently came out as male. So in this documentary, he was using they, them, so I am going to use he, him pronouns because that's what he uses now, and I'm filming this after he has come out. He has also expressed interest in making his own content around being trans male in a mainly femme empowering fashion, and I am so interested in that, and I really think that you should. Please make that content. I know that it is needed. I get questions relating to trans men in Lolita and what that experience is like and how to do it, and I know that there's an audience out there for you. So please, I encourage you. I'm going to tell this to him when we actually do an interview. I don't know anything about this documentary, but a lot of people have said that it's good, so I'm hopeful. It is only 3 minutes and 15 seconds long, and I know what you're thinking. Why did I bother putting nails on for a 3-minute video? Great question. I mean, I'm hoping that I'll take more time talking about it than 3 minutes. I think that there's actually some benefit to having these really short, quick pieces of media out on the internet because not everybody wants to sit down and watch a 20-minute video. I make a lot of 15 to 20-minute videos, so there are some people. But, you know, especially when you're introducing someone to something new, people often don't want to sit for too long. So I think that it is beneficial that this is a short introductory documentary. It kind of gets people interested. So without further ado, let's get into this documentary.
My favorite thing about Lolita fashion has to be that on days when I don't feel confident myself, I often don't feel like I look great. A lot of people do.
So even though these pronouns are now out of date, I really want to commend the creator behind this piece of media because they used a little pronoun marker in this, and I absolutely love this, and I want this to be a more normal thing in media, to just introduce people with their pronouns, whether they're cis or trans or non-binary, just everyone across the board. It's such a nice thing, and then you know how to refer to that person, and it's a step in the right direction of making it more normal to just tell people your pronouns. I really love this. I want to see more of this, and I want to include this more. Like, I'm really inspired.
And I can put on this piece of artwork, and to me Lolita is a form of building up artwork on your own body.
I totally agree. That's such a great way to look at it. And I sort of mentioned this in my concrete video, that I see Lolita fashion as like an artistic base to start with. Like, you know, you learn all about it, you learn the rules, you know what to do, what not to do, and then you decide for yourself how you want to do it. Yeah, looking at it like art is great, and also looking at it as pieces of art is great too, because it's also a collector's hobby. It's not just like fast fashion. I realize I should probably move to the side to give space for the video. Okay, let's keep going.
So Lolita is a fashion that started in Harajuku, Japan, that has elements taken from some from the Rococo and a little bit from Victorian era fashion in England.
I don't know where the production got these pictures. I've never seen them before. I feel like there's the same sort of 10 Lolita images that circle the internet and are always used to represent Lolita, but I haven't seen these before, and I don't recognize them from any Fruits, Care, or GLB that I've seen.
So when I tend to pick out an outfit, I'll always lay it out on the bed first so I can imagine a person in it. So I can see the pattern of the skirt really nicely, figure out what shape of petticoat I'm going to need with it, etc.
I'm stressed that we haven't heard him say his name yet, because the approach that this documentary is taking is that they're having him narrate everything from his perspective, which is really cool. But I'm still stressed that I don't know how to say his name properly because I've only ever read it.
It's a really popular thing in Lolita to do this, called a flat lay, because if you don't want to like go out and wear a cord, but you do want to like make something pretty, you take a photo and everyone's like, oh, that's so cute. And you can also envision it on. Yeah, it's basically just making a pile you can visualize yourself in and then throwing different parts of it on and checking how they feel on your body and if you feel cute in it and if you feel comfortable wearing it out.
So a lot of the times when people ask Lolitas how long they take to get ready, they assume that it takes like hours, because this pre-planning does take a lot of time. But I feel like whenever I think about getting ready, I don't include this in it because I usually am just constantly going through my head doing this. I don't usually do like aesthetically pleasing flat lays because it's just a skill in itself that I do not possess. But there are people who are like really artistically good at doing flat lays and taking photos of them.
People often ask, you know, is the book Lolita and then Lolita fashion, are they linked? And they're definitely not. Kind of just when the fashion came about, it got named Lolita because people in Harajuku wearing this fashion, they thought it was cute, and they thought the word Lolita was cute because it does have like a roll off the tongue kind of sound.
I'm done talking about this. I have a whole video on this. If you're watching this and you're still wondering about it, I have a whole video on it. Go check it out because I'm done. He did a really good job of explaining, though. I want to give him credit. Just like when people ask me this now, I'm so over it. I'm just like, here.
I feel really beautiful. I feel like out there. I feel like I'm really in touch with kind of my own artwork because I love kawaii culture and magical girls and all that stuff, and so for me that inspiration goes into specifically Sweet Lolita, and I can become this piece of artwork.
I'm really happy with what I've seen, but I want more. I mean, sometimes that's what media does, right? It's just like planting the seed, getting your foot in the door, starting to introduce you to it. We never found out how to say Aloy's name.
Aloïs.
Aloïs. It's like Eloise, but it's not Eloise.
Aloïs.
Aloise?
Do we have the correct pronunciation?
I have no idea. I have to ask him. Take a water break, get a snack, and we will be right back with Alois and see what he has to say about this media. I'm back with Eloise. Is that correct? How to say your name?
Yeah, that's how to say my name.
So I'm really happy that you were in this media and that you also were comfortable with me sharing it because I think it's so cool. What was your experience like filming this?
It was really nerve-wracking. I'd never been in pretty much any media of this kind before apart from little YouTube videos when I was a teenager. And I was so nervous the whole time, but the cameraman and the director were extremely wonderful. They made me feel very comfortable. You know, they were gentle with me. They knew it was my first time being on camera, and they really made this a great experience for me because it was scary. It's really nervous when you have something you love and you're presenting it to the world and narrating it.
Yeah, and you're putting your trust into someone else to like take your story and like represent you.
Yeah, it certainly was really nerve-wracking, but I think they did a good job.
Is there anything that was cut out that you wished had been included in the documentary?
Absolutely. So there was a segment towards the end of the interview where Arwen asked me, is there anything that you specifically want to say? And I went over how if you're watching this and you're interested in Lolita fashion, you know, don't be afraid. The price tag is scary, but there are ways to slowly build. You can take as many years as you want. You can join our communities online. You can chat to people. You can make friends. You can find out about the secondhand market, Taobao. There's, you know, it's definitely an investment fashion because it's not a fast fashion, but you know, give yourself the chance if you can. It certainly takes a certain amount of privilege to be able to afford it at times. But yeah, you know, you don't need to be shy or afraid if you want help sourcing things or if you want help discovering what sort of Lolita you like, come in, please. And sadly that got cut out because I really wanted this piece of media to be for people who are maybe new to Lolita and interested in joining.
Even though that wasn't included, people will still like search this. They'll be like, what is this? Like, let me find more. And I hope that they will find like pieces from that.
Absolutely. I felt really privileged to have something made on me and my interests, but I do wish that there had been more focus on introducing people in rather than just being like, here's this one person who wears this, because for me it was about promoting, you know, expression of clothing however you want.
I feel like I felt that. I was like, yeah, I can tell that like he wants people to explore this and know about it. And yeah, I had a feeling, like a sense that there was something else missing there. Has the release of this media had an impact on you?
Oh gosh, yes, quite a big impact. I guess I've always, though I'm an extrovert and bubbly person, I've always been nervous of presenting myself and my body, especially on camera, and talking about things that I'm passionate about, because if someone disagrees with it and they directly say, you know, there's something wrong about what you like, it really hurts on a personal level. And there were certainly some comments that were extremely rude. But overall, the outcome of the video was so positive and so healthy and so great that it was very easy to overlook it. I have people, you know, my country's small, I have people coming up to me in the streets being like, I saw you in this little doco, and it was so exciting to be able to talk with them about my passion. So it's an overall good impact.
I posted your documentary on my Patreon, and I basically asked if any of my patrons had questions for you. And some of them did, and I will go through them. So Wildly Specific Niche asks, I'm a trans masculine Lolita too, so seeing this warms my heart. It bothers me a ton when people, even within my own EGL community, address everyone as ladies. Do you see that kind of thing in your own community? And if so, how do you deal with it? Also, I'd like to ask what your current dream dress pieces are.
Okay, I'll start on the dream dresses because that's a little bit easier. Currently, the two dream dresses that I'm pursuing would probably be March of Dessert by Milu Forest. It's a really gorgeous green print. I don't often see nice green prints, and green is one of my favorite colors. Or Fantastical Carnival by AP. It's got like little bunnies. It's a carnival print and it's very gorgeous. In the community, within my own local and wider country community, we do not have too many people who are vocal online apart from one city, Christchurch. It's a great community down there, and most of the community is either allied or in some way identifying with being queer or LGBTQA+. So for me, it's been quite easy because I can say, here are my pronouns. Even though I'm wearing this, you know, highly feminized fashion, I still get respect within my own community when I go to meetups, which is really a privilege. Like, you know, if a random person walks up to me and says she, her, which I understand because of what I'm wearing, if I correct them, I'm not going to get backlash. Whereas online, I have gotten issues over like gently correcting people. So I think maybe within a small country, I can't help too much with that. And I'm very sorry because you deserve to be respected in your community.
Yeah, it's so great that you have your community too to like help support you when maybe like someone who isn't in Lolita says something to you like that. I imagine there might be like, you know,
onlookers, normies.
Absolutely, yeah. Misgendered by onlookers very often. If it's just in passing, I tend to think, you know what, they don't know my personal story, I'm not really going to go up to them. But if they come up to me to chat and keep saying she, her, then I'll gently say, hey, I actually go by he, him. I know it doesn't look like it, but this is what I prefer to be called if we're chatting, and that so far has gone down pretty well for me.
Hello, I was wondering how you first discovered Lolita fashion and what your main influences for your style is. By the way, seeing you so happy in the documentary wearing Lolita is so heartwarming. I feel like heartwarming is like a theme among people's reactions to your dog.
I feel so blessed, this is so cute. So when it comes to being introduced to Lolita, I was a little anime fan, a little bit of a weeb. I fell in love with this anime character, well, a couple, but the main one being Misa Amane from Death Note, and at some point she features wearing classic and gothic Lolita within the animation. And so I started researching it and I discovered what Sweet Lolita was. And I was like, oh my god, this is incredible, this is beautiful, this is like so much expression in an outfit. And from there I started researching Lolita fashion, the terms of Lolita, and actually eventually found Law's videos, which gave me really good introductions. So kind of a mishmash of things, but definitely help from online sources.
So Jonathan Lee asks, fellow trans mask Lolita here, how do you perceive Lolita as being feminine? It's a feminine dress that can be taken off in favor for more casual mask clothes, or is it something that is so feminine it extends past typical gender roles? And does it conflict with your masculine self?
So I'd say my answer to this is mixed. I definitely think Lolita in itself, the silhouette, the lace, often the colors involved, especially in Sweet Lolita, which I wear, I'd say it is a feminine fashion, but not one limited to assigned female at birth people whatsoever. In the end, to me, it's a form of expression. You know, a cis man, a trans man, a trans woman, a non-binary person, anyone can put on a piece of clothing, no matter what sort of presentation society relates it to, and still enjoy that piece of clothing. I enjoy Lolita as something that is a feminine fashion but does not make me female, because look at how gorgeous this is. Though it is a fashion that I view as silhouette-wise, design-wise, just gorgeousness-wise, it is related to femininity. I wouldn't say that wearing something feminine conflicts with my personal identity. There are days when I get up, I look in the mirror and think, I can't wear anything remotely feminine today because of my own body dysmorphia. But that doesn't mean that they're girly clothes, it just means it's out of my comfort zone today, and it will be okay in a few days.
My last question is from Emery's, who asks, what is that black and purple dress? And as a fellow plus-size Lolita, do you feel stifled by the lack of choices in your size?
So let's go for the black and purple dress first. This is actually a deep navy and purple dress called Purple Delusion or Hydrangea in Space by the Taobao brand Strawberry Witch / Ichigo Maiko. Moving on to the plus size topic, I'd like to say, before I say anything more about this, I have lost quite a bit of weight since this video, and your body shape should not be important to Lolita, but I can no longer represent the plus size community as I used to feel I could, because now I have accessibility to some of the larger sizes or shirring options within brand. So I'm going to be speaking from my past experience, not from my present experience as someone with a different shape from then. I did find it, really daunting and really hard as a plus size Lolita to find clothes that fit me. I learned to alter my clothes, which people have a lot of controversy about this. I would strongly encourage you to, if you can't sew, see a tailor, see a seamstress. Don't be afraid to change your clothing that you love the print of to fit your body size, because in the end it's your clothing, and if you ever find that you no longer love it, there will be another plus size person who is going to want to buy that dress off of you or trade for it, who will love it as much as you. In the end, your clothing is yours and you can change it however you want, regardless of what people say about its value anymore. Many Taobao brands do custom. There are some amazing small creator shops on Instagram and I think Etsy that do custom sized Lolita like dresses and blouses, all sorts. So it is hard. It has made Lolita more expensive for me, putting in the extra time and money to making sure my dresses fit me well. And it is a struggle, I agree, but there are ways, and do not be afraid to alter your pieces because you deserve to wear the clothes that you love, and if you've gone that far to source them, why not have them fit?
Alright, so you, Eloise, is there anything else that you want to share with my audience that maybe wasn't in the documentary or that you and I haven't talked about yet today that you just want to share about yourself or the Lolita community in New Zealand or anything?
I guess I want to be a little bit cheeky and promote someone who I think is a really great influence and represents the New Zealand Lolita community really well. Her name is Tea Cake. She has a YouTube channel and Instagram, and she specifically goes into alternative fashion and Lolita. She makes really cute vlogs and she talks about her experience as a Lolita of New Zealand and just does really enjoyable casual content. If you're interested in finding out more about Lolitas in New Zealand, that's the place to go watch meat vlogs. Yeah, it's just a really great small content creator who I'd highly recommend if you're looking for someone to tune into, to listen or watch while you're, you know, doing something casual.
Yeah, I'm always looking for more Lolitas to watch myself. Like, I love watching them, especially when I'm getting ready and stuff. And so I'm sure if there's anyone else in the comments who feels like they're a lone New Zealand Lolita, there's more content for you. I guess there's nothing else really to say, but I wanted to ask, do you want to end this video by saying stay lovely for me?
Yes! Thank you for watching this video. Stay lovely.